action, all destructive, sound like madness. Only crazy till it happens. Bottom ready. What you say,
Radix,
man?
let's go.
Ready.
Guys, welcome. We are doing the first ever, what are we calling this, Brandon? Drivenology? I don't know.
Driven Bracketology, man.
Driven Bracketology.
our Bracketology series, and the summer competitions come in hot. So we like to dive into each one of them and give everybody some insight to their opponents company wide.
Yeah, so we saw a lot of success in the Mamba Bracketology. We saw views just continue to climb. We got really good feedback, so we wanted to just continue to push the competition and allow there to be the proper recognition for all the different groups. And we're taking a little bit of a different approach this time around. So Brandon and I are it's just gonna be him and I. Maybe we might call in a special guest every now and then. But the reason for that was so that we could go. It felt like every time in the Mamba Bracketology, we were having to cut it short and tell people to stop talking as much because everybody wanted to go deep dive into some specific scenarios or, matchups. And the idea is that Brandon and I are able to just go do some more deep diving, that we're able to go pick a matchup. We're able to go talk about the individuals, maybe dive into specific strategies. And so we're excited to give this a shot. I know Brandon's on the road, so appreciate him jumping on late Monday night. So we're officially through day one of the first round. And Brandon, tell everybody a little bit about Driven, how it's structured, and what things to take into consideration.
Dude, first I want to talk a little bit about how easy it is to go talk about so many different people in the company. We're so deep with talent at Radix that it made it easy in the Mamba to go, well, let's go talk about all of these individuals because each one of them had an opportunity and we just liked what we saw with each one of those guys. So I imagine it's going to be similar here, and we're going to have to be careful on how we go talk about that. But I'm excited to go dive into some of these teams. So Driven, probably one of my personal favorite competitions we do. We started at year one of Radix with our competition series. It's a team versus team. We go structure it so that you're 5 versus 5 or 5. Some teams have 4, depending on how the office structure was. And they compete head to head in a bracket tournament. The cool thing that we're doing this year, and that I think is unique and that we'll see a big change in how Driven runs, is one, we're not requiring any sort of number of setters or number of closers on a team. So we have teams, and I think we'll talk about this in a minute. We have teams that are all closers, and we have teams that are all setters, and we have teams that are heavy self-gen reps, and maybe there's one just closer or one just setter on that team.
I think we can jump into that now because I think it just flows really well. But it will be interesting to see if there's trends in the strategy of how you built your team. So it's one of the unique components of Driven this year that we like is that it's a part that nobody knows yet. The strategy might be full of self-geners that you're getting 2 points for every account that's going in, or it might be to just load up a team of setters and load up a team of closers and just see and let the chips fall where they may. So it'll be really fun as the competitions goes on, or maybe it's just go get 2 setters and 3 closers and let them just go really hard and be motivating each other along the way, like a true car group. I don't know. It's going to be fun to go see how that strategy on how you built your team matters.
I think we're going to end up seeing a lot of just closers realize they need to go self-gen a bunch of deals.
I think so too.
We've got. I want to talk about it just really quick. The Abby Melby team, girl power. We've got Becca and Abby on a team.
Let's go.
Eli Sullivan, Jake Melby, and Kexton Payson. Abby with 2 self-gens today, giving them 4 points against the Parker Nelson team, which is a stacked team, and they're down 4-0. So day one.
Dude, part of that Parker, because Braxton Belliston has been on a winning team in Driven before. So there's guys that have won that competition, and after day one, I think they got punched in the mouth a little bit, and it'll take a good second and third day to go get through. So good work, Abby, and on a couple self gens. Well timed.
So they got to go climb. They got to climb a hill now. That Parker Nelson team. Yeah, so excited to see what's going to happen with that matchup. Man, I got to go give a shout out right now to our two-time champions. Probably going to three-peat this year. The Now team, Preston Erickson. I think Preston has been on the team that's won it every year we've held this competition. So just super impressive. He loves this competition. I know he loves to go hang out and play in Vegas and race some cars. So
and he's got some momentum coming for Mamba. So
got some momentum. They're already 4 today, so they're already at 4. I'm sure he's tired, but I think those guys. I'm going to call my shot now and say those guys are winning it.
Oh, dude, that's an early shot to call.
An early.
I mean,
it's way too early prediction is what they call those. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you're already predicting that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win the Super Bowl or something, or that Patrick Mahomes is going to win it this next year. But it's a good bet. However, the top seed says that it's going to be the Apex Kings. So I wanted to jump in and have you explain a little bit to everybody about how seeding worked and how we did it a little bit different this year.
So I absolutely love the way we did seeding this year. And if you go look at each one of the teams, I really feel like it gave us a true seeding. So we took year-to-date sales combined of each team member, put it together, and that was your total score. It included the two points per account. So you got a point for the lead and a point for the close, 2 points if it was a self-gen. All those points combined and gave us our seed. And Apex was they just dominated the seeding. Like those Apex Kings were far and above anybody else in the seeding. Part of that attributed to just they're a very dominating year-round market. Those guys go hard 12 months out of the year. But I love the way we did seeding this year. I think it adds a unique factor and really favors the teams that go hard all year long.
So I think the thing, and maybe we can end with this unless you have any other comments, but the way that we know that it's a good seeding is normally when we do seeding in different ways, when it's based on production, you get a guy that just had a rough week, but he's a great rep. And what that ends up looking like is you end up having guys in the first round that you would have expected, in round 3, 4, or 5 that are going up against each other in the first round. And as Brandon and I were going through this matchup, we weren't seeing a lot of that. We weren't I was looking for 2 groups that were already going to be duking it out in the first round. And really we're seeing a lot of true seeds, just like you would in maybe a college tournament where really what we're looking for early on in this tournament is who's going to be the upsets. Like the Abby Melby teams that are going to just come out swinging, and they're going to they might catch a team off guard, and we might have some upset alerts early on. So I would say, if you're in this competition and you're watching the video, go look for the upsets. And if you are the underdog and you are the lower seed, you got to come out fighting. Like everybody loves a good underdog story. So I'm excited to see who our true Cinderella teams are this year.
Hey, hopefully that puts a chip on somebody's shoulder. We just did not call a dark horse, and we love our dark horses at Radix. So there's some teams out there that are lower seeds that should definitely have a chip on their shoulder right now because we didn't call your name and we're looking for you. There's a few I've got my eye on, but I can't call it now. So
too early. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to our first ever Driven Bracketology. We will tune back in round 2 with some updates, and look forward to see you all then. Thanks.
Love you guys.
Till it happens, but I'm ready.